Assalamualaikum and a very good day to the fellow audience. I'm Muhamad Khairul Nizam would like to present on my plant journal. A brief before I go into my plant journal. This plant journal is linked to this course of the study. I've been assigned to get a plant and plant it. This journal recorded the progress during the planting process, including the plant propagation, preparation of planting medium, planting technique, and the tools used. Okay, the plant that I have selected for this journal is the Carica papaya, which is the papaya. The reason as I choose this plant is because it is easy to grow but need a proper care. Carica papaya is an herbaceous plant, angiosperm, which is a flowering seed plant. It prefers a tropical and subtropical climate. Both papaya flowers and fruits can be found on one plant at the same time. Papayas are dioecious plants. This means that a plant bears either exclusively male or female flowers. As a result, successful fertilization requires two papaya plants of opposite sex. I would like to share a little bit on the method to plant and the care of the papaya seeds. Firstly, you definitely need to prepare the seeds by rinse the seed with water and remove the remaining pulp, and once the seeds are dry, plant them promptly or store them in a cool place. Follow up by preparing the grow pots or planting medium by filling a few seed pots with growing medium. Sow one seed per pot and cover with 0.5 cm of soil. Moisten the medium and cover the pots with transparent cover to create a highly humid atmosphere and regularly air the pots. Next is the selection of planting location where it has high photosynthetic activity. The seed is impossible to grow it in the lack of sunlight, as must not be planted in a too windy spot. In the germination period, always keep the substrate moist but not wet. The ideal germination temperature for the seed is 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Low temperatures can lead to the slow growth of the plants, and higher temperature can cause low production. Next is watering and fertilizing. The seeds needs to be watered regularly to maintain soil moisture, but be careful to avoid waterlogging. It is not necessary to fertilize in the first 2 weeks, and for the first 2 years, a half dose of fertilizer is already sufficient. And lastly is mulching. Mulching helps in retaining moisture and is essential in hot climates, as it can save the seeds from hot and cold weather. Okay, moving to the journey of me planting the papaya seeds. During week 1, I start by preparing and purchasing the tools for the planting of the tree, such as the hand trowel, hand fork, water sprayer, and the planting pot. The propagation method that I choose for planting the papaya trees is through the seed. I start preparing the seeds by obtaining it through the fruit planted by my parents at my hometown. As can be seen in this close-up look at the seeds, not all of them have fully ripened or is darkened. The seeds selected for planting were the darkest unblemished one. The seeds are encased in gelatinous. The seeds are encased in gelatinous envelope. It best to break it apart and wash the seeds thoroughly, and then air dry to prevent the seed from spoil. Next, I start preparing the planting medium to plant the seeds in planting pot by putting small rocks at the bottom hole of the planting pot to prevent the soil from seep through the rod. to the hole. The seed is planted about 3 centimeters spacing and with only less than 1 centimeter deep. A total of 7 seeds has been planted in the planting pot. In this early stage, the seeds is only watered by the water spray with a routine of twice a day in the morning and evening. During the week 2 of the journey, on the 22 October, I have been taking a close observation of my plant to record for the changes and to make sure there are no problems with my plants. I found that there are no changes occur on my plant yet. I continue to keep the routine in watering my plants twice a day every morning and evening. And on the 4th November, I found that the seed is already grows roots which can be seen a white root emerge from the seeds. During the week 3 of my planting journal, on 7 November, it has been raining heavily with a strong wind. To prevent my plants from affected by this unpleasant weather, I'm moving my pot from the balcony and keep it indoor by the window in my room. And I keep with my watering routine every day, but for this time, I only water it once a day during rainy day, just enough to moisturize the soil. And on the 10th November, on this day, I found that a green tiny shoot can be observed emerge from the seed that I planted, and this is a proof that indicate that the seed is successfully germinated. Moving to the week 4 of the journey, on 14 November, it can be seen that several seeds also starting to grow tiny shoots from it, and the leaf of the first shoot from the seed start to bud. I take a close care of the plants by still continue and never forget to watering the plant daily. And on the 16th November, I found that there are several weeds start to grow around my plant, and I start to removing it from the planting pot. The removal of the weeds is done carefully to prevent the damage to the seedling. On the week 5 on 22 November, and until this day, among the 7 seeds that are propagated, only 4 of them are already germinating, and I found that no further growth or changes appear on the other seeds, and I assume that the other seeds is either spoiled or damaged, as the seed taken for papaya seed is mostly germinate taken to germinate is 1 to 3 week only. On 25 November, I have found that my plants has grown a pair of round leaf, and this is the form of the seedling of the papaya tree. On the week 6 and at the 28th November, I continue the daily routine in watering the seedling, and I found that my seedling has grown a bit higher over time, and the shape of the leaf started to change from round shape to lobed shape leaf. And I found that 2 of the seedlings seem to be stopped growing, and I'm quite worried and never miss and take a close care to watering my seedlings. And on the 3rd December, unfortunately, 2 of the seedlings withered for unknown reason, as can be seen in the picture shown, and I have to remove 2 of the withered seedling, as I am afraid it will affect the other seedlings. During the week 7 of the journey, on 5 December, my 2 seedlings that survived previously seems to grow and increase in height over time. And on 11 December, it seems that even in its grow in height, but the plants does not grow of a new leaf bud. The leaf also seem to be maintained in small size and become thinner over time. And at this point, for your information, I have yet not fertilizing my plants. Moving to the week 8 on 12th December, after reviewing the planting method of papaya tree through online, I noticed that I have missed the important point in planting process. When planting several seeds in one pot, the seedlings should be reporting to allow for sufficient nutrient intakes that depends on the size of the pots. Thus, I assume that due to the lack of nutrient in addition to the high number of competition between my seedling leads to the disruption in their growth, and therefore the decision that I made is I start to separate the seedling into two other pots with new planting medium. And on the 14th December, with the fail of the previous planting process of my seedling, I decided to start off the new planting of the new seeds. However, this time I want to try to plant the seeds in multiple planting pots with different type of soil structure to determine the seed grow best in which soil. And for this project, I began with preparation of the planting medium by firstly doing the soil jar test. On the week 9, 19 December, with the result of soil jar test, I able to obtain different type of soil texture for my new planting. And I began to plant the new seeds and make sure the condition of the planting with similar amount of seeds in one pot with watering and fertilizing. And on 20 December, I found that one of my previous seedlings, which are thought to be failed, have grown a new bud of leaf after several days of repotting. Moving to the week 10 on 27 December, I found that it's been 1 week, but there are still no progress on or changes on my new project of the planting with multiple soil type. And on the 1st January, I found that the previous seedling able to regrow healthily again, and the other seedlings not really have progression yet. On the 2nd January, my previous seedling getting bigger and taller. The leaf grow into more distinctive features with several lobed leaf. And on the 5th January, the soil height has dropped due to the frequent watering, and it can be seen that the roots started to visible from the soil. So I refill the soil again, and not to forget the fertilizer this time, and don't want to repeat the same mistake as the previous planting process. And I frequently let the plant breathe by poking hole around the roots of the plant by using small stick. The reason I do this is by refrain from using fork is to prevent from damaging the roots of the plants, as the papaya seedling of the roots of papaya seedling are very sensitive in this process. And on 7th January, I found that it's been more than 2 weeks, and there are still no changes on the new project that I have done. And on the week 12, this is the final look of my first seedling. It seems to grow continuously and seem healthy. And no disease were detected on the plant, and I will say this is a successful planting. And on the other hand, the other seedling dies. I have come up with several thoughts why this one died while the other seedling able to survive. It might be the plant itself is already critical before reporting, or I accidentally damaging the roots while repotting the seedling. And for the new projects, it can be seen that none of the pot successfully germinates the seeds. The hypothesis that I came up is the difference between the first and the latest planting is the preparation of the seeds. In the latest project, I collect the seed and soak it in the water for a long period of time that might have spoiled the seeds. And moreover, the seed is not dry completely before I plant the seeds into the pot. Okay, this is the end of my journal. I will continue to take care of my plant until it's measured to determine whether it is female or male papaya tree. And I have learned a lot from the experience and the mistake that I have done, or I will look to improve my understanding in the future. Thank you.